Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Welcome to Blog Workshop. It's me, Jackie Lee, and I'm here with Kelly Cannon, and we are so excited that you've decided to join us today.
Hi.
We've got an exciting topic. We've talked about different types of content that you can create, and today we're going to talk about different types of content you can create. In a different way, though, in a different way.
I was trying to figure out how do I say this different from different kinds of content.
I know, it's kind of crazy.
Different kinds of content, but it's a totally different thing.
I'm sure that, yeah, it is a different thing. You know, we've talked about video content and SlideShare content and things like that. Today we're going to talk about the different ways you can share information on your blog. Let's just say it that way. So, Kelly, why don't you get us started? What's the first kind you want to talk about?
Well, kind of the basic is, you know, where you have something and you just start writing about it, right? That's kind of the most basic kind of content there is when you're talking about writing a blog post. You got something you want to say and you just start typing and let it come out, maybe do a little editing to make it look nice, but that's basically it. But there's so many other different ways that you can put that same information out there. And I think a couple of the most common, I think probably the most common type of blog post that people are doing right now are list posts. You know, and there's actually a couple of different kinds of list posts that you can do. You've got where you pick a topic, like say the top 7 hypoallergenic dogs, and you just list 7 breeds of hypoallergenic dogs. Or you have a problem that you want to solve, like I don't know why now my head's stuck on dogs. Maybe it's because there's 3 of them laying under my chair. Top 10 ways to get dog hair out of your carpet. You know, and you list the solutions to that problem. That's probably the most common type of list post.
Yeah, one of the really great things about this kind of list post, though, is people want to know. They might be able to think of 2 or 3, but they want to know what you've come up with. And then if you're sharing it on social media, you can always say, oh my God, number 3 was my favorite, or oh, I do number 3 all the time. And people are going to be like, well, what the hell is number 3? I want to know what it is, and I want to know if I do it. And they click on your post. So list posts are really great like that.
And another thing that's really great about them, why they're so popular, is because it's little tiny nuggets of information, because people hate looking at a page and seeing a big, huge block of text. Yeah. They love little tiny nuggets, and if they've got a problem, they're looking for a solution, they see your list, and they can scan through it really quickly and say, oh, this one looks like it'll work, read how to do it, and they're done. They don't have to read the whole thing, you know, so people love it because they can find what they need really quickly.
Yeah, and you can take a hint from these list posts on any other kind of post you're making, too. People on the internet, they don't really read like you're reading a book. They scan through the page. So even if you're doing like the first kind of post we talked about and you're just telling a story, make sure you use headlines. You use header tags and subheads to break up the content and give people a way to scan through the information so that they'll actually get through the whole post. And use small blocks of content, you know, small blocks of text. You don't, you know, it's not English class. 1 sentence is a paragraph online, so, and that's okay. And it helps to bring emphasis to that one little thing that you have to say, too.
There's another kind of list post also where you're linking out to other things, like say you've got the top 5 Twitter tools, you know, and where you're just going to write a little bit about each one of the tools and then link to it. Or it might be your, like one I'm working on right now, a post that I'm working on doing for sometime in the next couple weeks is my 5 favorite Pinterest boards that are going to have to do with blogging. You know, just I can share those boards. You know, I'm looking for stuff that's real good that my readers will want to see. You know, I want to share these with my readers because I think they're valuable. So,
yeah, I did one like that last week too, on driving traffic and building your tribe on social media, and I linked out to some of the people that I follow and that I consider mentors in the social media area, and I linked out to some of their posts because it's silly for me to just reinvent the wheel. If I'm going to say similar things or the same thing, you know, I do the same things as a lot of them. You can just link out to them, and the other bonus of that is that you can then, they will probably get a notification that you link to their blog, and you can say, you can mention them in social media. Oh, I just shared some tips from @ProBlogger, or @CopyBlogger, and then that's going to help spread the word for your posts as well.
Yeah, I actually did that not too long ago with Jessica Gottlieb, who's like a huge mommy blogger, and I mentioned in one of my posts something that she had done that really impacted me, because I felt really good that she took notice of me, and so I try to make sure when I see people comment to me, I do that to them. I let them know, hey, I saw you, and I try to connect with them. And I mentioned her in my blog post saying that she did that and it influenced my behavior. And when she saw that post, I mentioned her on Twitter. I said, see what Jessica Gottlieb did that taught me how to blog, or something like that. And she went and read my post and commented on it on Twitter also. So that would, not only is it good for her, it was good for me. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on. So that's one. You've got list posts. Apart from list posts, I think probably the most popular type of post after a list post are how-tos and tutorials. And there's so many different ways you can do how-to posts also. I mean, you can, if you're doing crafts or recipes or anything like that, you can write out the steps, how to do it. You can take pictures. You can put the pictures on there. If you're doing something online, on like about blogging, you can take screenshots and use that to show, with step 1, step 2, step 3, and show people exactly how you did it. Or even what I've been doing, I did a couple of these last week because I got some questions about it. I did a video of my desktop, showing people how to do something with WordPress. So there's all these different ways that you can do how-tos with video or pictures or just text, however it works best for the topic that you're working on. I think my husband's knocking on the door. I'll be right back.
Okay. If you're going to do videos, one of the tools that I use, if it's going to be a short video, is Jing, and you can get that at jingproject.com, I believe it is. And it will allow you to make a little square on whatever part of the screen you want a video, and then you can do a 5-minute video. And they store the video for you and give you the embed code or the link if you want to share the link. That's one of my favorite tools. But I also, when I'm doing how-to videos, I can also use the camera in my laptop. But if you don't have a connected webcam, you can always use Jing to do that.
Absolutely. And I use BB Flashback Express Recorder. It's what I use to record my desktop.
Say who what?
It's called BB Flashback Express Recorder. It's a big name. Nice little, very easy to use program. And it lets you record your desktop, whatever you're doing. You can put an inset of you, from your webcam on the screen at the same time.
Oh, neat.
And with this program, you can upload directly to YouTube. So it's really nice. It formats it for YouTube perfectly.
Oh, that's awesome. Very cool.
Yeah, so it makes things really easy.
Somewhere.
It's so easy to use that I've started doing more videos, so, which is great, because then you got, not only do you have the video for your post, but it's also on YouTube, so you get double duty out of it.
Absolutely. I love that.
So what's next?
I don't know. You've got the list.
How about interviews?
Oh, yeah. One time I did an interview. I did a whole interview series a couple summers ago, actually, and I interviewed Lisa from 100 Days of Real Food, and it was awesome. I learned so much about how she's taken her blog, and it's a relatively new blog, and she just, boom, it just went out of control and went big really fast. So I love to do interviews with people where they've done something that I want to know how to do. So you say, hey, can I interview you? And then you get your questions answered, and you get content for your blog, and you support them because you're sharing them with your audience. So it's a win for everybody. Yep. But I love to do interviews with people who are doing amazing things that I want to be doing myself.
Yeah, I just did one, well, it's been about a month ago now. I saw a video documentary on YouTube about Peru that I loved. And it just happened, the guy who had created the documentary, his name happened to be on there, so I did some searching and found him, asked him if I could ask him a few questions about it, and then posted the link to the videos with his interview on my blog.
That's awesome. Now, you guys did a written interview, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many ways to do interviews now. Back when I did my interview, I used a free conference call line so that I would have a recording, and we just did it on the phone. But now you could do a Skype call and record the Skype. You can do it written down, just have questions and have them reply in writing to your questions. There's just so many ways to do it. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I just did that through email. I just sent him some questions I had, and he responded to them, it was kind of necessary to do it that way because he spoke Spanish. So it kind of made it easier than trying to translate it all on video.
Right.
Reviews. Reviews. Product reviews. Book reviews.
What?
Moving on to the next type of content.
Yeah,
reviews. You can do product reviews. You can do book reviews. You can do software reviews. Anything that you use, any kind of thing, any kind of product that you use or service or anything, you can write reviews about it. Write a review about your web hosting service. Anything that you use, you can write a review about it. I know you've done some book reviews that have done really well for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I did a book review not too long ago on 10% Happier by Dan Harris, and I get traffic every day. I think that one hit really nicely because his book was just coming out. He was on a lot of shows and, promoting the book, and so my review came out, and not too many people did reviews, and so I managed to rank, and I get traffic from that every day. But I do try, whenever I read a book, to write a review of it, because book titles and authors rank really well, really easily. You don't have to do a lot of work about it. So it's one really quick and easy way to not only get traffic to your blog where they can see other things that are going on there, but if you add links to Amazon for the people to get the book, once they read the review, you can make a little cash, and that's always good.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just got a new Cuisinart for my birthday, and so as soon as I use it for the first time, I know it's been down there for a week now, I can't believe it. I'm definitely going to review it, and I mean it's a high dollar item, so even from Amazon, the commission's going to be decent there. And people want to know the real deal. If my old Cuisinart, I accidentally dropped the bowl and broke it in half, but I hated that Cuisinart. The shape was wrong and had suction cups, which I thought were going to be a great thing. They sucked big. You could never move it to get it out of the way, or it was a nightmare. So, that's what people want to know. People,
Exactly.
So when you're doing the reviews, make sure you share the good and the bad. You don't want to just, blow smoke up people. So just share the good and the bad and what you really think, and people will begin to trust you, and they'll come back for more of your reviews if you do that.
And when you're doing reviews, you mentioned that you can put your affiliate link for Amazon. It doesn't have to be Amazon. There are a lot of different places that have affiliate programs. Like my HostGator. If you use HostGator, they have an affiliate program. If you're really happy or really pissed off or whatever with HostGator, write a review about the service that you get, or however you feel about them, and put an affiliate link down there. Even if you say they suck, somebody's going to buy it anyways. That's just the way.
Remember that post we read the other day? This lady did an entire post on how when her blog went viral, like big viral, like lots and lots and lots of traffic viral, how HostGator really screwed her. And so she told that story, but in the end she found a better hosting that was capable of handling that kind of traffic, and so she linked to that instead. So people may find her post just because it's an amazing story, and people always want to know what happens when you go viral. But people also might be searching for problems with HostGator, or can HostGator handle a viral post? Or they might be looking for the other company. I can't remember exactly the name of it. It was Orange something. Small Orange, yeah. So they might be looking for that and find her post. So even if you haven't had a completely wonderful experience, but you found a solution, go ahead and write about it and do a review.
And make some money.
Make some money, yeah. There's also, Amazon's great for concrete things, but there's also other networks, and we've talked about them before. Pepper Jam, Share a Sale, Commission Junction. Any store in the real world at this point has an affiliate program online, so you can share their stuff with other people and get a commission.
Exactly. Okay, next type of blog post. I'm trying to move us quick because I don't want us to be forever, because we could
I hear ya.
a long time doing this. Stories. When I think about doing a story for my blog post, I'm thinking about, like, it might be like a parable or a fable or something, or it might be a story of something that happened in my life, and it doesn't really have to be in my niche, but the moral of the story or the point of the story, I need to be able to relate it to my niche, because I'm not just out there telling stories to my readers for no reason at all. I want it to have value for them. There has to be a reason for the story. And you had a perfect story, was the one where Hannah was learning to ride her bike.
Oh.
And what was that, aim for the tree?
Yes. Go to the tree.
Go to the tree, yeah. And it was like, that was a perfect story.
Yeah, I mean, she had been trying literally for years to learn how to ride a bike, and I don't know what the block was, but she definitely had a block about riding her bike. And so one day I came up with a new solution. I Googled it, and I pushed her down this little hill we have in our yard, and I just said, just go to the tree, just focus on the tree, you know. And, you know, my readers don't really, you know, care about stories about riding your bike, but the point is that you have to have a focus. If you're going to get somewhere, you're going to accomplish the goal that you want to accomplish, you have to have a focus. And so that, from a story about my kid learning to ride a bike, helped people, you know, to get the point that you've got to have something to focus on and a direction to be going to accomplish what you want to accomplish.
Exactly. That was such a great post. When I started thinking about story posts, that was the first thing that popped in my mind. I was like, oh, that was so awesome too. Okay, so that's a story. What about FAQs, facts?
Yeah, those are great. Especially if you've been blogging for a while, or you blog on a specific topic. Like if you talk about baking pies on your blog, they frequently ask questions about pie baking, especially making a crust. You know, how do you get a flaky crust? How do you not make it taste like this? Or, you know, what's the difference between using butter or Crisco? You know what I mean? Share those, because people are asking those questions all the time. And if you can help them find the answer, they'll come back to your blog. And those kind of things will be picked up for search, and people just searching the internet will end up on your blog, and it'll drive more traffic than, you know, you might just drive on your own. FAQs are such evergreen content that they're amazing, because you can write them today and they will still be true 10 years from now.
Exactly. And if you've got some frequently asked questions that maybe you've written for like 5 or 6 different questions that you get a lot, you may have done a blog post for each one of those things. You can make an FAQ and have it as a page in your menu that links to each of those posts. So not only are you creating another piece of content with your FAQ, you're interlinking inside your blog, which is great for SEO. Google loves to see you pointing to yourself, because it shows that you're about something, you know. It lets them know that you're doing things that are connected, so you're going to have more information about whatever that topic is.
Yeah, and if you've done like an FAQ video, you can always link to the video on YouTube, or if you've put it in a blog post, you can link to that blog post. And maybe you don't know the answer to something that somebody asks you all the time, and somebody else that you know, another blogger or somebody, you can link to them. It's okay. This isn't a competition. We can all work together. And that makes people trust you. If you're willing to send them to the information that they need to know because you don't know the answer, then that just makes people trust you even more.
And something else you can do if you don't know the answer is another kind of blog post, which is writing a question. You know, talk about what this is, whatever it is. You know, like I'm just using the pies again as an example. Say you don't know what's better. You haven't decided what's better or Crisco. So you've tried both, and they both got pros, they both got cons. You're not sure what you like better. Talk about it a little bit, and then ask your readers, tell me, what do you think?
Oh, that's a great one.
You know, and then you get a lot of comments, and when other people come looking for that information, they're going to see all these different comments, which is going to make them think, wow, you must be really important with all these people commenting. And also, it's going to help them, because they're going to be able to see what all these other people say, and it's going to help them have make a decision for themselves.
Yeah.
So it's another way that you're killing 2 or 3 birds with one stone there. Cheat sheets and checklists is the next one.
Oh, I love those.
I know. I've got so many on my list that I'm gonna do. I promise I'm gonna do them. And right now I'm working on one. Well, first of all, I wrote all my notes on the back of my. This is my list that I go through every day. All my work that I do for getting my blog done. Do you need to answer that?
Nope.
Okay. But I'm also working on one that's like a schedule for getting my housework done, because I'm terrible about doing housework, and it helps me if I've got a schedule that I split it out by day and by things that need to be done once a week, things that I can do once every 2 weeks. So I kind of made a schedule that separates them out that way, and I'm going to share that at some point in the future on my blog. I have to figure out a way to make it easily readable.
Yeah, and there's so many ways that you can do cheat sheets and checklists. It doesn't matter what niche you're in. I like the pie thing. Do a conversion list. Like this in tablespoons is this in cups. People, I mean, I always need that information. So just think about ways that you can give people information in a short and concise way, and turn it into a printable. Make sure if you make a printable that you have your address, your blog address on the printable so people can find you again. I printed out a chore chart for the kiddo a couple weeks ago, and it worked out really well because there's so many out there, and I wasn't sure what kind was going to work for what we needed it for. I finally found one. It worked really well, and I went to print it out the next week, and I couldn't find it again, and nowhere on it did it have the address or anything. I was so frustrated. You may feel to you like you're being promotional by putting your link on there, but what you're really doing is you're being helpful. You're allowing people to find what they've used from you again, in case like they didn't bookmark it, like me, or they didn't put it on Pinterest, like me.
Yeah.
Now, believe me, the second one I found, I put it on Pinterest so I could find it again.
And that's kind of talking about that. That kind of ties in with a couple of the other ideas that I had for blog posts that you can do, which is printables. And printables don't even have to be something helpful. A lot of people are doing printables where they something decorative, that other people can print out and frame, or print out and use for a pattern.
I used a printable yesterday.
You used one?
For my mom, I printed out a printable gift certificate, and then I filled it in for her Mother's Day present.
So there's all kinds of different ways that you can do cheat sheets, checklists, printables, and what was the other one? Oh, if you know design at all, you can make icons, different kinds of elements of blog design, and share them. Let people download them. I did some artwork recently for a couple of my posts that I needed icons for Twitter, for different social media, and I found some places that just where people had designed some funny little ones and interesting, and they just let you download them. And they're just little tiny icons, no big deal, but it was really nice. I had no idea that people were doing that. It really surprised me. But that's great blog content. All I did was search for social media icons, and I found all these great places where people were giving it away. So, and that's bringing them traffic. If I'm going there, there's got to be other people doing it too. Infographics, that's another one that's kind of tied in with all that too. If you're doing a cheat sheet or a checklist or whatever, you can make it as an infographic, like you were talking about with the conversions. You can make a really cute infographic out of that,
Yeah, there's so many easy ways to create infographics now. There's Canva, which there's another site that is specific to infographics. But if you are like me and you are not a graphics pro, Fiverr. I've gotten infographics done on Fiverr for $5, literally, and it was this gorgeous infographic. And I put it up on my blog. You can share it on social media, and those things get shared. If you do a really nice infographic and you share it on social media, again, make sure you've got your link on the infographic. That's important. But they get shared a lot, and so you have a really great way to get yourself out there, get noticed, and to get more traffic.
And if you're trying to get stumble upon traffic, those are perfect things because they get shared a lot more on stumble upon than text posts do.
Mm-hmm.
And people love easy to see things, you know, something they can boom, it's right in front of them, easy to understand.
Yeah, things are great on Pinterest too because of the length versus
Yes.
the width. They share really nice on Pinterest.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. That's something to keep in mind when you're doing art. Something I've just really sunk in over the last couple weeks. If you're doing art that you want, what's the word I'm looking for? If you want it to look really good on Pinterest, maximized for Pinterest, is that the word? You want to make sure that it's longer than it is wide. If it's wider than it is long, it's going to look really small when it's posted on Pinterest. So you want something that's going to be longer. I've been doing stuff 400 by 600 to kind of give it that edge. And it posts everywhere else pretty well that way. I can post it as an image on Facebook and it shows up really well, so I've been sticking with that. Controversial posts. If you can start a controversy.
Yeah, I don't do those.
I don't usually, because I don't really have very many controversial opinions, I don't think. But recently I did a post because there's this thing called TrueTwit, and I'll just be controversial about it right here. I don't care. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. It's a verification thing for Twitter, and it's just a big scam is all it is. It's a big scam to get people to pay them money to not have to verify. And there's no reason to verify. Their verification involves sending people DMs. The whole point is go read my post. It's a scam, and I really went off on it in my post, you know, and so to me that's a little controversial. I don't usually come out and call something a scam or, you know, say these people are ripping you off. That's just not me. But I'm so aggravated with this company, app, whatever it is, that I had to say something, because the people that they're taking advantage of are people who don't know any better, people who are just starting a blog, and it says, oh, get verified on Twitter, and it seems like it's something important. And it really is like just a terrible thing to do because it makes people not want to follow you on Twitter. And so it's actually hurting people. So don't use TrueTwit. Go read my post and be controversial. It'll get you lots of views. It got shared quite a bit, that post, so, and I got comments on it, and yeah. So that was nice. Current events. This is the last one I've got on my list.
Uh-oh. So, okay, we're almost done.
We're almost at a half an hour. Current events. What I think about current events is when something's happening in the news that you can, you know, kind of fit into your niche, whatever it is, that's great because people search, and it might not be evergreen, but it might get you a lot of traffic really fast. Mm-hmm. And anytime you can get a lot of traffic to your blog, that's great. Even if it's not going to always bring in a lot of traffic, if you can get people there once, they just might bookmark you and come back again. You know, once you get them there once, you've got the option of, you know, maybe they'll join your newsletter, maybe they'll just like you and bookmark you, maybe they'll get on your RSS or, you know, get you in their feed or whatever. And doing current events, there's a few ways you can do that. And what's really great with social media now is that you can embed tweets, you can embed Facebook posts. So when you're talking about something in current events, you can go and grab things that other people have said about it to support what you're saying or to show the other side. You know, and you can just embed their tweets or whatever right in your post, and people can actually retweet or favorite or whatever right from your post without even going to Twitter. So that's awesome. You know, it kind of brings the social media to your blog.
Yeah, the other thing I'd say about current events is that if you can find an event that's an annual event, you can end up, that's what I did on my bike blog. There's an annual bike ride here in Kansas called Bike Across Kansas. And so I did a post about that 5 years ago, and I still get traffic every year when it comes up to be time for Bike Across Kansas. I get traffic from that. So you can do it semi-evergreen if you can get something that's an annual event or something that happens reoccurringly, instead of just, you know, a flash-in-the-pan current event.
And I've got that on a lot of that on my Peru blog because I did a lot of like they have religious ceremonies that they do here. Like October is the month of the Lord of the Miracles, and they carry this huge statue of Jesus all through the city, and it's a huge event. People come from all over the world to see it. It's like a really big touristy thing. And I wrote about it, and I get traffic every year for 5 or 6 years now. So yeah, that's a great thing. And that's all that I've got. You got anything else that we didn't cover?
I think that is a lot of kinds of posts.
And that's just barely scratching the surface.
Right there.
That's really just barely scratching the surface. There's so many other things you can do, but we don't have time for it in one post.
I know, and just use your imagination. I know it's so easy to get stuck in a rut and get comfortable with 1 or 2 different kinds of posts and just do them over and over again. But you really, if you can spread your wings and try out different kinds of content and different types of posts on your blog, you're going to reach more people, and you're going to have the ability to interact in social media in different ways than if you just do your basic, paragraphs or your basic
Absolutely.
recipe or whatever. Mix it up.
I had one more thing I wanted to say, and it just ran out of my head. Oh, well. Oh, no, I remembered. Write these down. Write these ideas down. Keep them in a little document on your computer if you type them out, or write them down by hand in your journal or something. These different kinds of posts. And when you're sitting at your computer and you're all of a sudden, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to write about, just look at the list. And even though these aren't blog topics, they're not specific topics, just having some different ideas come into your head as, oh, I haven't done a list post in a while, and boom, all of a sudden a list post comes to mind, something you could make a list about, So I do that so many times when I can't think of anything to write about. I'll go look at a list of blog titles. 7 ways to something. Oh yeah, I know 7 ways to do something, and I'll just start writing about it. So
yeah, absolutely. And I think sometimes when we get crunched for time, we think we can't do blog posts. Well, some of these are super quick and super fast. So you can, if you've got that list in front of you, you can remind yourself that there are ways to do quick blog posts that are still really valuable to your readers. So like asking a question really could take you 5 minutes.
The easiest blog post in the world, go to YouTube, grab a video that you've seen, something that's inspired you in some way, post it on your blog, write a quick paragraph about it, and let people watch it. It doesn't have to be your video.
Right.
Will Smith has an awesome video about, believing in yourself and taking action. I love it. I could watch it a million times. I've shared it a couple times, so. And you just have to write something real quick about it. Pick out a quote from it that really, connects with you and say, watch for when he says this. It's really awesome. And you're done. It takes you 5 minutes and you're done.
Yeah, for sure. All right, our time is up again. I wish you a wonderful Monday and a happy week. Go out there and be productive, and we will see you again next week, Monday morning, 10 a.m. Central Time. Bye.
Bye.